Mesothelioma is an aggressive form of cancer that develops in the lining of the lungs, abdomen, or heart. Currently, surgery combined with chemotherapy is the main treatment approach for mesothelioma, but clinical trials continue to evaluate new and combination therapies that may improve outcomes. There are several promising therapeutic developments and strategies currently being studied in clinical trials for mesothelioma. One of the most active areas of mesothelioma clinical trials research involves immune therapies. Checkpoint inhibitors, which help boost the body's own immune response against cancer cells, have shown efficacy in other tumor types and are now being extensively studied for mesothelioma. Key immunotherapy drugs currently in clinical trials include nivolumab, pembrolizumab, ipilimumab, and durvalumab, either as single agents or in combination with each other or other therapies like chemotherapy. For example, ongoing combination studies are assessing nivolumab plus ipilimumab or nivolumab plus chemotherapy. Early results from some of these checkpoint inhibitor trials have been encouraging, with manageable side effects and immune-related response rates of 15 to 30% in some trials. Adoptive cell transfer therapies are another type of immunotherapy approach under investigation. This involves collecting a patient's own immune cells known as T cells, modifying them in the lab to better recognize cancer cells, and then infusing the modified T cells back into the patient to trigger an immune response against the tumor. Several phase I/II adoptive T cell therapy clinical trials for mesothelioma are ongoing or planned. Genetically engineered T-cell therapies targeting specific tumor antigens are also being evaluated in early phase studies. Targeted drug therapies aimed at molecular changes driving mesothelioma growth and survival are another focus area. Several clinical trials are exploring multi-targeted kinase inhibitors that block pathways like EGFR, VEGF, and mTOR. Some examples include poziotinib, cabozantinib, and vandetanib. Other molecularly targeted agents under study include PARP inhibitors like olaparib and birinapineib for tumors with BRCA mutations. Trials are also assessing molecularly targeted drugs in combination with chemotherapy or immunotherapy. Advances in precision medicine approaches may help in better selecting targeted therapies for individual patients. Companion diagnostic testing to identify targetable mutations is being incorporated into some clinical trials. For example, profiling tumors for mutations in genes like BAP1, NF2, and others may help predict responses to certain targeted agents. Genomic and molecular profiling may also aid in matching patients to immunotherapies based on tumor mutations and signature gene expression patterns. New chemotherapy regimens and combinations are still being explored as standard chemotherapy remains a mainstay of treatment. Ongoing trials are assessing the efficacy and safety of newer chemotherapy agents in combination, as well as with immunotherapy or targeted drugs. Some examples include clinical trials combining pemetrexed and cisplatin with bevacizumab, durvalumab, or the PARP inhibitor olaparib. Advances in surgery are also being studied. Trials are evaluating novel techniques for extensive site-reductive surgery combined with hypothermic intraperitoneal chemotherapy, HIPEC, which may improve outcomes compared to standard surgical approaches alone. Other studies are assessing perioperative therapies before and after surgery to enhance responses. New delivery methods for cancer treatments are an additional focus of clinical investigation. Several early-phase mesothelioma trials involve nanoparticle drug delivery platforms or devices that administer localized drug therapies directly into the tumor site. These local regional approaches aim to improve drug distribution while limiting systemic side effects. There are many promising therapeutic strategies currently being explored through clinical trials for malignant mesothelioma. Continued progress in immunotherapy, targeted agents, chemotherapy combinations, surgery, and delivery methods may lead to improved response rates and survival outcomes for this challenging disease compared to standard of care. Robust clinical trial participation remains crucial for advancing new and combination treatments towards approval and routine clinical use.